gives you the most anxiety?
Um, Personally, I feel like this one, yeah, just not being enough. Um, Especially just being a black woman in the world, being a black queer woman, it's just like there was always an expectation that we have to shift and change and mold into something else and somebody else. And sometimes that gets to me. And sometimes I think about, you know, or not as much now, but I used to think a lot about how to make white people comfortable, so that they didn't feel like I was a threat.
Right.
How to make, how to make, like, those real, like, super Christians comfortable so they didn't perceive me as a threat.
Right.
Um, and even like being real and being in spaces around other black and brown people, and like, knowing that we're all going through a lot of traumatic stuff, and wanting to make sure that they know I'm not a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here because, if I'm around you, like, I have love and respect for you. Hopefully we can have that for each other,
Yeah.
um so yeah, just I get anxiety thinking about how to, like, shapeshift sometimes. But I try my best to just be as authentic as possible, while still being aware. Yeah, that's the only thing I try to hold on to more than anything. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
No, I mean, if that's what makes you feel most anxious, then
Yeah.
you know, it's. I think it's, anxiety for me has always been something that I really struggle with, never really acknowledged, because who got time for that?
Right.
You
That's
know
real.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's like, yeah, I got stuff to do. So
Yeah.
I can't worry about anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's you can feel it and not feel it at the same time.
Mhm. That's very true.
So it's always interesting to me, to get people's perspective on what makes them anxious, and how they've overcome that anxiety.
Yeah. 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 I mean, no, that's a good point. You can definitely. I feel like I do kind of sit in the middle of it a lot of times. And actually, really thinking about it, what makes me really anxious, and I know a lot of people probably don't know this, is getting on stage and speaking to people.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. I mean, I genuinely.
Don't you just imagine them all naked or something?
Nah, that I feel like no, I feel like I would be really thrown off if I ever did that. I just I feel I'm naturally an introvert. I love research. I love to read. I love to just, like, sit back and, like, learn things as much as possible. But
Sense.
yeah, like, that's my favorite thing to do. But I feel like I have over throughout my life, like, even when I was still in the church, I feel like I was not necessarily forced, but I had always, like, been a leader, and I'm using air quotes just because it's like
No, you've been a leader.
I
You don't have to call yourself a leader because you're not that sort of narcissist, but
yeah,
you have the heart of a leader.
I appreciate that. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. I guess I just kind of noticed that, like, even as a kid, like, in school, doing group projects and having to be like, all right, guys, since no one else is doing anything right now, this is what we're gonna do. Because I like to get things done. It excites me to move and to make things happen. And so, but being in front of people, and, like, talking to large groups of people gives me a lot of anxiety. I get really stressed out, and so I do it because I love it, and I feel like, I often say I speak because I'm spoken to. I feel like the universe tells me things that I feel like it's my responsibility to convey, and so I do that, but it's scary.